Industry 4.0 somehow, as we are speaking, requires a significant shift in the culture, in the work culture. आपको लगता है नए jobs होंगे or people will be losing their previous jobs? Because as we spoke, there is a little challenge for a lot of people to adapt to this concept altogether. Also, as mentioned, आपने reason बताया कि आपने book इसलिए लिखी क्योंकि कई लोगों को इस चीज़ के बारे में बहुत सारे लोग हैं अभी नहीं जानते हैं. वेस्ट की बात और है, इंडिया में नहीं जानते. तो डू यू थिंक what impact will it have in terms of generating jobs, or will people be laid off? क्या होने वाला है आपके हिसाब से?
The same kind of scenario we observed and faced when computer was introduced, right? When typewriter was converting and transforming and upgrade into a computer, the people was thinking and looking for this kind of fear in the job, that what will happen. But the outcome which is there are lots of new jobs for our youngster, for our young students. They have got the lots of jobs. In fact, in IT is playing a very important contribution. IT is providing. It's just because of computer introduced in our country. So this fear is always be there, especially in the developing countries where new technology is coming into it. So you cannot rely only one thing, that one thing is okay for our whole life we can spend into it. So it is quite difficult. These are very few career opportunities or career vertical where you can spend all that life with the single technologies on the single operator. Whether you are in anything, any area you are, whether you are in finance, whether you are in some digital marketing or some technology engineering line. So computer is now a basic thing into it. So everybody should know the basics of computers at least. The similar way, if new things are over there, so we have to just transform our just transform over there and upgrade our skills into it. So which is the only important thing.
So, of course, talking about the transformation and people adapting to it. So, do you think there should be there are emerging trends in Industry 4.0, which, of course, the businesses should be preparing for the next 5 years? Like, there next 5 year ka plan regarding that technology. What do you think about it?
There is no such a standard thing we can say about the for next 5 years. In a very generic way, for next 5 years, this is a existing company, existing manufacturer industries. In next 5 years, they just put efforts in the direction to creating a culture within the industry where people adopt this new digital revolution easily into it, right? So adopting and creating that kind of culture is the most important thing. Most of the time what the thing is happening, we are talking about lots of things over there, but ground level is not ready to adopt these kind of technologies over there. There is a lack of things, whether it's there's a lots of things, whether it's a lack of knowledge, whether it's people are not aware what's the benefit of their getting into it. Like if there is some machine operator in the industries, and if you ask them to create one kind of automatic machine into it, the first reaction would be they will find that if they are getting an automatic machine, maybe it will replace him. But we can convince them that it is not just for the replacement, but it is the safety for that. Right? And that will be just to make their life more easy into it. Right? So this kind of things in there, so culture needs to be changed into it. And if you're talking specific about the technology, what's the kind of technologies needs to be adopted for next 5 years? That's again the connectivity. What's the kind of infrastructure you can build so that you can build your analytic tools into it. You can create some big data. You can make some kind of powerful algorithm into it. When you have the data, if data is not available, then you cannot do anything into it. So if you need to convert your and go for Industry 4.0 and 6.0 and further, the basic things is in a ground level, you have to create that kind of infrastructure which is compatible for the Industry 4.0. So I think it will take around 3 to 5 years down the line.
You pretty much answered my next question. I was about to pop this up. Talking about employees now, of course, industries are doing something to upskill their employees and promote Industry 4.0 among them. what do you think are the measures that business leaders should take to actually embrace Industry 4.0? Also, what do you think, what do you have to say to encourage them to start adopting these technologies?
In a simple, I just give you an example. If only you are using a one application, mobile app, which is very popular nowadays. I think everybody in India is using that app, which is a WhatsApp, right? If let's suppose you are the only person who's using a WhatsApp, can you get the complete benefit of that? Nowhere. Because everybody is using WhatsApp, that's why it's easy to exchange the information, exchange the data, right? So that's the kind of app where we are utilizing our smartphone in a better way, right? In a similar way, if we're talking about the Industry 4.0, if the overall things is connected, then you will get the completely utilization and benefit of that. Only by doing the one particular area or one particular vertical, maybe it will give you some limited benefits into it, but the complete broader picture, if let's suppose, for example, one robot is connected with another robot, they are exchanging the information, right? Accordingly, weld shop in some automotive industries is connected and exchanging the useful information with the assembly line, right? Assembly line is aware in weld shop how much data and how much production is going, and accordingly next day production line, assembly line will prepare itself. Now because they are already aware what's the thing is there in a backlog, right, from weld shop. That was just an example. Similarly, if you have one factory here in 𝗃𝗃 region, one factory in Chennai, one factory in Gujarat, one factory you are working with a 80% capacity, one factory you are working in a 60%, and one factory is working in a 20% efficiency. So automatically they, to utilization their resources, optimization of their resources, the companies who is overburdened or is running on a 80%, they can offload their production to a company who is running a under production into it. So all that decision can be taken automatically to optimization that resources. But when we can achieve this, when all these things is integrate and connectivity and exchanging the information. Let's suppose I'm just having one company of FMCG, right? I'm making lots of consumable goods into it, and I have to launch one new product in the market. What thing I should do first? I have to do some market survey. How I can do a market survey? Until unless I will not get a proper and relevant information from the market. And if my product is going for the organization, a very organized way, I have the distribution lineup, I have very well set up SAP implementation, then I will get a real-time information from my distribution network into it, right? I can get a real-time information that which kind of person are looking for my product, which kind of person are buying my product, and which kind of person is repeatedly is going to repeat to use my products again and again. If I'm getting a proper feedback from my distribution network, real-time information into it, then it will be easier for me to plan and implement the new features of my product into it, right? And after getting this feedback through Industry 4.0, because all these things we are talking in the prospect of Industry 4.0, my distribution network is connected, my vendor network is also connected, right? My machinery and internal person, my horizontal and vertical network like my HR, my finance, right? My equipment system, my purchasing, everything is connected with each other, right? My engineering is also integrated with it. And external factors, my vendor is also connected, my customer, my distribution network, everything is connected, right? In that case, what's the kind of demand in the market? On the basis of that, I will get information that this is the new product which needs to be launched. What is the peak time? That's also I will get through analytics. How I can achieve these things, whether my vendors is available to support me in that prospect, raw material is available or not, what's the condition of that, I will get the real-time information from that. So all these things concept where everything is connected with each other with this common data source, that will give you a clear beauty of that Industry 4.0. So you have to just sit and observe the things, whether all the things is going fine or not, your intervention into it is required or not. Machine will talk with the machine, factory will talk with the factory, robot will talk with the robot. and they will take a decision with themselves.
So, as you spoke about communication and connection within the company, so आपकी book में भी you have mentioned the an important thing, that is how integrating various system and processes. इसके साथ how can one implement smoothly Industry 4.0 without disturbing the legacy and without disturbing the balance that the company has within the entire structure. So how do you think? What do you think about this?
Again, it's a very relevant and very practical question. Yes, because as we discussed earlier also, to transform from 2.0, 3.0 to 4.0, the biggest challenge is about the connectivity. So lots of people and lots of companies not want to interrupt their existing system into it. Right? So for that, we have developed some kind of smart controller which work parallelly with the existing system. So we are not using any kind of information or data with their existing system into it. Our system works only on the standalone basis, and the data which is required, which is it's not a basic the whole completion, but some limited information which is required, like there's a one term which is called a overall equipment efficiency, which is the data related to the quality, data related to the availability, and so this kind of information which is required. So that's we can get by using some kind of parallel hardwares, some kind of parallel smart sensors into it. So we have developed this kind of solutions, which is helping the existing industries for brown sites kind of projects into it.
Okay. So according to you, what role do strategic partnerships and collaboration play in accelerating Industry 4.0 adoption, especially when it's about dealing complex technologies?
If we're talking about that technologies, the major factor is the real-time information. We are doing lots of different kind of partnerships and associations with different verticals. Currently, we are working with food and beverages, we are working with steel and metal, we are working with automotive, pharma, oil and gas. So we are working at a different kind of verticals and doing a different kind of associations with them. As far as technological partnership is concerned, we are developing lots of customized solutions for them as per their customized requirements and challenging. Some of the industries are looking for some specific requirements for their safeties, right? Some of the industries having their objective to decrease their human dependencies in lots of critical work, right? So as per their requirement, by using a different technologies, different skill set, whether it's a mechanical is involved into it in some kind, we are developing a new kind of a smart hardware for them. Some kind of smart software modules is required to do it. So for these things, we are providing them a customized solutions by putting their associations for our Industry 4.0. Some kind of industries who is just working, we are working for them just as a consultants. We are providing the consultancy, the scope of Industry 4.0 in their organizations on that time. So for that, we are doing the complete site survey. We are providing one report. In that report, we are mentioning which kind of what's the strategies, whether it's a short term and long term they can adopt by implementing Industry 4.0, and in which phases they can implement these kind of things in their plant, and for which specific things which help them to achieve their business goals. Like some companies' goal is to increase their productivity, to decrease the downtimes, right? To increase the efficiencies, to decrease their dependency on human interference, right? And some is looking for some safety kind of solutions into it. So these are different companies having different kind of goals. Is a long-term goals, short-term goals, and by observing and considering all that things. So we are providing these kind of things in a long-term consultancy with the long-term associations, and we are deploying our engineers over there on their working place, and by observing their working behavior, working culture, their need. So we are offering and proposing the things into it and helping them to transform their industries to a 4.0.
For more information, please contact us or visit www.technovizautomation.com.